So welcome everyone to our May 17th Town Hall update. Sherry, do you want to start with the pledge today? Thanks, Chris.
Let's all rise. I pledge my head to clear thinking, my hands to greater loyalty, my heart to larger service. Oh my gosh, I can't do it. Can we start again, Kurt? I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world. Sorry I screwed up, you guys.
Well, Sherry, we have that on recording, so we'll
Now you
that's
have it on
recorded for
recording.
everyone. I was like, hey,
I'll never live it down. How many years have you been sharing the pledge, Sherry? Don't ask.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, well, as I mentioned, I actually am at an event, so I won't be on as long as normal, but I do ask that if anyone has any questions to always reach out and also use the Q&A. I think that's, yeah, that's set up for this. So you can always write a question and I'll respond, or Sherry or Suzanne will as we continue on. So today we're going to try and keep these as short but informational as possible or valuable as possible. And today I will be doing an update, and then Sherry's going to be doing an update as she oversees the area coordinators. So she'll be providing some pretty helpful information as you coming into a lot of you are coming into your achievement days and a lot of events coming up. And then Suzanne's going to do update on the program and delivery, as well as some Cleaver questions that we've been people have been asking. She's going to provide some information on that. And then in the end, of course, there'll be a question and answer. But like I said, if you have questions for me, I will be stepping out after I'm done. So if you don't ask them, then you'll have to reach out to me after. Okay, we can jump to the next slide. So again, I'll probably say this every time, but continue to check the website and Scoop for the majority of all of our communications. We try and centralize it there. Communications are constantly a challenge, I think, for every organization, and almost more so for 4-H because we have so many layers of events and activities happening. So we have intentionally focused a lot of our information on the website and on Scoop. And we will continue to lean that way. People want more. Some people ask for more posts and more things, but the data is clear. If we put things up more, people read it less. So we have to make sure our information is concise, but also valuable. Now, I know a lot of 4-H is kind of wrapping up a lot of their 2021-22 club years. But our team, as we wrap up this year, our focus is to make sure 2022 is the best year ever from a standpoint of kind of everything we learned last year. Last year was our only full first ever, this year ending right now is our first ever full year. And even it was interrupted by COVID, but we've seen a lot more of what makes 4-H go around in each season. So we are focused 100% on making next year as smooth as possible. And I offered this to the regional chairs to give me some feedback on whatever ways we can make things better for our volunteers so that you can just do your jobs and focus on serving our members. And that is the goal. That's the goal of our entire, can you just wait 1 second? Oh, never mind, it's gone. So that is definitely our goal for this year. So if you have anything that you're kind of sitting there thinking, like, why is this done? It just seems like a make work project. We don't believe in make work projects, especially for our volunteers. Actually, I don't believe in it for anybody. So if you have something that you have questions about, reach out to your area coordinator or reach out to one of us. and just ask the question, say, why do we do it this way? And maybe we'll have a good answer and maybe we won't. And if we don't, we're going to try and get rid of it or make it easier for next year. So with that, there are more online registration system upgrades on the way. A big part of that is a function that allows you to jump to your family members as an example of an upgrade, because currently you can't access your family members when you're on the online registration system. But so we're creating that function. We're creating some automated reminders, and something I heard from a lot of people is they didn't know whether their screening was complete. So we've created automations to inform people that their screening's been complete and approved or not approved, or something else needs to be submitted. We're creating all of those communications, and right now that'll be the next upgrade through our system. And we're going to continue to upgrade our online registration system until it makes sense. And it has to make sense for all of our community members, whether you've used that system for years or whether it's your first year in 4-H. We just really want it to be easy. And we want to make sure our community can focus on our members. And that's so important. And that is the focus. I was actually hired in 4-H for growth. And then of course, when COVID hit, it became about retention. Just how do we manage and maintain our community during this time? But when you think about it, growth, the first step of growth is always retention. If your experience in 4-H isn't easy and it doesn't make sense, people will not stick around. So that's kind of some of the things that we're working on. And we have one full-time staff that's run a lot of youth programs and done a lot of high volume programs. That's been digging into a lot of these system upgrades with the rest of our team. Now, the last thing that we're working on, and I was excited to share this with the regional chairs. They had a few weeks to look at it and they gave us some very valuable feedback, was a 4-H Alberta handbook. And this came from the concept that our team has had to deal with plenty of, well, not plenty, but several conflicts across the community. And if we look at the base or the root of almost all of those conflicts, they almost always start with people having two answers to the same problem. So we tasked our team with something that initially looked easy, but it quite quickly became hard as they started talking to other people in the community. And that was to come up with very common answers to questions that were commonly asked. So, you know, what is the area coordinators' roles in the community? Like what are the tasks that they're supposed to be providing to the community, which was not consistent across the province. So we've met with the regional chairs and talked about that. We also talked about how do we properly address conflicts. So conflicts can be something in the past and they're not always present in some of the communities that have had them. So how do we move that forward? All of those things. What is a key leader? What is a key member? What are the requirements for a proper club? What are your club requirements? What's a screened and trained? All these things. So we brought all of this to the regional chairs, and our goal was to basically come up with one answer and make it as concise as possible. And the concise part of the answer, it isn't just to keep it short, but it needs to be something that anybody could read and pick up, whether have been in 4-H for 20 years or whether you've been in 1 year. We just want to make sure that our answers are consistent. So I was nervous, but excited to finally share this with the regional chairs. And the feedback, I see Chris is on here, but I think the feedback in general was there was a lot of consensus that this is needed. It'll help our community, and there was a lot of support for it. So the next plan is, when do we roll this out, which is probably most likely for the next club year, and we'll lead into the club year with this. And we have a few pieces of feedback we got from the regional chairs, so we're going to add that, and then reach out to anyone else that we think will help be able to help provide some of these answers, and then we'll get this out to the community. So it'll be a single document with answers to pretty much everything for related to 4-H. So Chris Patton said it is a great document, very impressed. So And she is or I think now you were a regional chair. She's been a part of 4-H for a long time, and she provided a lot of valuable feedback. So that project is very important, and it's basically with the goal of let's get everyone on the same page, and let's answer stuff at a high enough level that we can leave flexibility for each of our leaders and their unique skills to finish it off. Because we don't want to tell people exactly what to do, but we want to have enough of an explanation so that we don't get our lines crossed. And hopefully that'll make things a lot easier for everyone in our community. I fully understand and accept and expect there'll be people with different opinions on different answers, because we even had that within our team. But we're working our way to one answer for a lot of these common questions. And by us coming up with that, we can focus on our youth and not be distracted by stuff that really should be irrelevant once we're all kind of following the same playbook. So yeah, we're just finishing up the feedback. I'm really excited about the handbook. It is long, but it's got a table of contents that makes it referenceable. So you can jump to the section that you want the answer for now, and then you can get out of it. So we're going to be adding layers to this, where there might be a training video from one of our staff on how to do a certain part of this. But this document is as short and concise as we could possibly make it. So yeah, I wanted to throw it out there and see if there's any questions that I can answer before I step out and pass it over to Sherry and Suzanne.
Kurt, Juanita's asking in the question and answer about the 4-H Grace and whether it's going to be allowed at 4-H events again.
Suzanne, you were here when that decision was made. Is that correct? That was right before. Oh, is Suzanne frozen? Nope, she's moving.
I think they only can see me when I'm talking.
Okay.
So the 4-H Grace is non-dominational or dominational, and along with other 4-H Graces, the fun ones that are often done at camp. We've moved away from the Grace at a provincial level, and you can still run it. However, you need to provide your guests an opportunity to opt out of this. This was direction that 4-H Alberta and across other provinces were given by 4-H Canada. Probably about 2 years ago, it's really become bubbled to the top. So providing your group is happy and accepting of the Grace, you can do it, but you need to ask your guests if it's okay.
All right. Thanks, Suzanne. I don't see any other questions or comments. So I think I can step out and hand it over to, is it you next, Sherry?
I think so.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you very much. And as always, reach out to me if there's anything you need. Just reach out to our team. We're all here. Okay.
So the first thing I want to touch on is the activity plans and incident reporting. Activity plans need to come in as close to 14 days before the event as possible. I can get them turned around very quickly, and I have, but it puts a lot of stress on the whole team. And it's better if you're planning something, if you can get it in sooner rather than later. I understand everybody, thinks that there's lots of time and forgets to do it, and then needs a emergency. And like I said, I have managed to pull that off in a very short turnaround. And as we said, activity plans are for interclub, overnight, travel, and high-risk activities. So that's currently still what we're asking to have an activity plan for. I have got activity plans for your regular achievement day, and I've just gone ahead and approved them if that's approvable. So I'm not sorting them out, but if you wish to, you certainly can. And incident reports, we're asking that they get submitted 24 hours after some kind of a cooling off period following the incident or accident. We all know that, well, I mean, an accident can go in immediately, but if there's an incident that you want to report on, take a bit of time and think it through. Make sure that's what you really want to do, but we really do need to have those incident reports in, or we can't do very much about helping you to resolve that particular, if it's a code of conduct issue. And then just provide as much detail as possible, but somebody's going to be phoning you to ask you about it in any way. So that's the two things that I'd really like to focus on. If we go to the next slide now, Suzanne, please. So area coordinators at this time of the year is getting the club year finished. So we're focused really on finishing up the club year with a flourish and in a very positive way. The focus for the end of the year programming within our areas is supporting Achievement Day plans, as well as those shows and sales if they're not the Achievement Day as well. And then following up to ensure incident reports and activity plans are completed. Activity plan isn't a follow-up, it's a prelude. And then the incident reports, if somebody gets their, steer steps on their toe or anything like that, that could come around to be a insurance claim, we need to make sure that we get those incident reports in after the fact as well, and the activity plans in and ahead. So looking ahead to what needs to be looked at, improved, redone in 2022, 2023, as Kurt said, we're working to have a very positive club year in the next year, and looking forward to things going a little bit smoother in some places, and having things done, correctly and the best for Alberta. Let's put it that way.
All right. Any questions for Sherry?
I'm not going anywhere. Oh, there's something in the chat, but I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. So I'll go to the next one if there's any questions. So the last town hall, we did a highlight reel. So that one was from January to March, and this one is from March to May. And I just wanted to point out a few exciting provincial level programs that have happened, and different opportunities that you might want to jot down. So April 2nd, we had a great provincial communications event, provincial presentations and provincial public speaking. The Provincial Communications Committee did a phenomenal job of helping Tracy, who was the staff lead on this program. Chris, you were one of them, so thank you very much for all your time. Lacombe was a wonderful venue for this. The sound was wonderful, the space was great, and all the participants were so happy to come out. So in the top picture, right in the middle, there's 3 participants. Those are the presentation winners, Kira, Jordan, and Abby. So second and third. And then the public speaking winners are right in the middle, in the bottom. And that was Casey, Kylie, and Marin, who were the provincial public speaking. Casey will move on to the competition later this fall, which we're excited about. And then the 2 pictures on the right hand of your screen were the groups. So the top was the provincial presentations and the bottom was the public speaking group. Great speeches. They all did really great. The small picture off to the left was April 9th, and that was Discover Science Day. It was held at the TELUS World of Science in Edmonton and ran by our SALT committee, and there was great attendance out to that. They're doing some funky thing. I think they're rolling something down that tube. Some great photos, shots from that, and you could have found those in the May scoop. I don't have a fancy picture for it, and it's not really a highlight reel, but I put myself a note about record book feedback. You'll see that coming out. It was actually in the May scoop, I believe. So the record books, we rolled them out in 2020 and then revised them for this club year and have received a lot of positive feedback with those changes. And there's still opportunity to do a few edits. Record books are not going away at this point, but you, if you see something that could use a little bit of a wording change or something, please fill out that feedback form, and it can be found on our website, and the link will most likely be again in our June scoop as well. More highlights. Sherry, I'm going to kick this one to you because you were in attendance at both of these events.
So April 24th to 30th was the National Volunteer Appreciation Week. And throughout that week, we had, previous to that week, we had reached out to our members to see if they would give us some goods on their leaders. And then we focused those leaders into social media and whatnot throughout the week. So it was really kind of neat to be able to hear what members had to say about their club leaders as we were working through National Volunteer Week. In addition, Leaders Summit, 4-H Canada's Leaders Summit was happening in Nova Scotia, and we had the opportunity to mingle with leaders, staff, board members throughout Canada. It was very interesting. It's always very interesting to me to hear how 4-H is done differently in the different provinces. And I always learn a lot from being able to be there, share what we're doing in Alberta and hear what they're doing in other places. It's very exciting to have that information as we move forward, and I start thinking and scheming and coming up with something different maybe. The picture there on the left-hand side is the Prairie Winds Club that came to the center this past weekend and got down on my wish list down to about half the size. It's fabulous to have them come. They, Fortis paid for their meals and accommodation, and they worked for me for the weekend. And so they got to stay at the center for free and work for me, but they also played free too. So they were able to slip and slide, and I think they played Capture the Flag after dark with glow in the dark things happening. It was lots of fun. They totally enjoyed it. I was very glad to have them here, and Fortis were happy as well. So that was very cool weekend and a win-win-win for everybody.
Awesome, thanks. A couple other things that have happened. Summer is here. These are really small. You can check out the social media platform. We announced our summer students. So you'll see some familiar faces and then some brand new ones as well. We are so pumped to have these 7 individuals join our team. 6 of them have definitely been busy planning and being super creative on our summer programs. And then the 7th one will join us in July and August for implementation. So if you see any of these, if you know of any of these, tell them thanks for joining our team, and I'm looking forward to this summer. So Kira, Kat, Maddie, Candace, Will, Chelsea, and Cassandra will be leading all those 4-H members into an opportunity of a lifetime. They have some really awesome things planned. So another highlight reel, I think we're still living a high from this weekend. It's been a long time coming that we were able to bring this many senior members together. And we did it at Olds College the first weekend in May. This is just a super photo of all of these smiling faces right before the banquet. You probably recognize quite a few of them. These photos will be available in the June scoop and hopefully on our website as well. So Senior Symposium, this weekend, we awarded 68 trips to 7 different locations. Quite a few of these trips were brand new. So 4 out of the 7 trips were things that we haven't done before. So our programs team are busy planning those trips that we've never done before to make sure that it is a rewarding opportunity for our 4-H members. So the next slide is all of the trip recipients. So I'm just going to rattle off the trips and then I'll try to associate the photos with them. The top left is a trip to the Agra Quest in BC. It's a 4-H BC program, and they will travel in May 2023. The top middle photo is a brand new program sponsored by AFSC, and that's called Ag Next Gen. They will head out on a 4-day camping excursion and start at the 4-H Center and head to southeastern Alberta. That is going to be a super fun trip, and that's brand new as well. The top right photo, they are heading to BC as well. We've worked with the 4-H BC to provide some new opportunities. They will be going out to the senior weekend, so the senior program in BC, around August long weekend of this year. The bottom left, that trip is brand new as well, and that's out to Maple Ridge to Pitt Meadows Country Fair. And those 8 individuals will be touring and camping along the way, and there's a great 4-H presence at that fair, and they're going to connect with some 4-H BC members as well. The middle one is one of the favorites, is the Northwest Territories trip. Whoever's going to chaperone this, be ready, because it is going to be an awesome opportunity with that group of 4-H members, all of them actually. Then the one in the bottom right, that is the trip to Members Forum in Toronto, and they will head out in the fall of 2022. And then the far right photo is, I guess, our politicians of the group. They're excited to go to Citizenship Congress this spring of 2023. And that's a 4-H Canada program. So, well, I said this, and I had to give a little explanation about all of them, because you will soon find that there are chaperone opportunities for all of these. So if you want to chaperone any of these trips, you let us know and we can hook you up. And it will be a great time, because all of the 4-H members, all of them that we had at Senior Symposium, are great individuals. So if there's any parents listening that sent their kids, it was a great weekend, great group of young adults. So here are some things that we want you to help us spread the word for. So May 15th, which was Sunday, was a deadline for summer programs. We took the day yesterday to look at them and say, oh, they're almost full, or not quite, or we could open it up for a few more members. All of these programs will run, but we just want a few more bums in the seats. So if you could help us out with that, we would appreciate it. And I don't have all the logos on here, and I'm going to speak to them. So the first one is a brand new track camp. Those Prairie Winds members blazed a new trail, and Sherry and I, Isaiah and a summer student, Candace, we walked that today. And I just got excited to go down that new trail to that new camping spot where track camp is going to happen. That's for intermediates, and they will be camping out at the center, cooking their own food and learning everything outdoors. The Peace Region Combined Camp, good job, Peacers, because there is a lot of members already registered for this program, but we have a few more spots. So please promote that to your junior and intermediate members. Northeast, there's only one photo on here, but out at Moose Lake, the Northeast Region Camp, junior and intermediate will run the same week in August. So, but it will be 2 different camps, so tailored to juniors, tailored to intermediates. There are some room in those programs as well. Aspiring intermediate members, AIM. This one is a really great step up from intermediate pro camp and preparing 4-H members for Club Week. And the program is a little bit more focused on personal development. There's special interest sessions that the members will partake in, and that is for intermediates at the 4-H Center. The next is Club Week. Holy, did we see an increase of registrants the Sunday and Monday after Senior Symposium. So we want all 4-H members to come out to Club Week, because our summer staff and we're planning a great week there. It is held at the 4-H Center. And for this year, we're trying to build this program back up in numbers. So if our senior members blow it out of the water, we might have to move locations or accommodate them all, because we're not going to turn anybody away for this program. So get your senior members out. We also have been telling them for this year only, those 4-H alumni that missed out the last 2 years can come back, even though they're not a 4-H member. We did that for Senior Symposium, and we had quite a few members that wanted to come back that missed out on that opportunity. So for this year, they can come back, those 4-H alumni. So if you know of any, please spread the word about that. Also, we are saying that you can come to Club Week this year and then have an opportunity to go next year, because we want to build this program back up to be that pinnacle program that everybody says it is and all the alumni love. Youth leadership, YLEAD, Youth Experience Leadership Development Program, is where we are training all our youth leaders. That one is early in July, and then you'll have an opportunity to be a youth leader at any 4-H program this summer. Archery camp is coming at the end of August. The deadline for that one's not until July 29th, but you want to hurry to get your spot because it is filling up fast. We have quite a bit of interest in that, but don't wait till the deadline to register for that. The next three, the deadline is June 1st for the Provincial Beef Heifer Show, the Provincial Sheep Show, and the brand new Provincial Project Showcase. So don't wait until the deadline to register for that as well, because we want as many members to participate as possible. The Project Showcase, we've heard that multi-club members or SALT project members want something for them. So please encourage them to check that out and participate in that. Whew, long-winded, but so important. We would like you to spread the word on these programs and help us reach our capacity. You'll notice some aren't here because they're full, and we're excited that there was so much excitement for them. So the camping programs, the deadline has been extended to May 29th. That is midnight on the Sunday, and then because we do need to get things ordered for these programs, so we will open them up until then, but don't delay, because you might not get a spot if you wait too much longer. Okay, this one, I'm gonna actually stop sharing my screen so you can see me for a second. There's been lots of questions the last few weeks in regards to the Cleaver Kids Connection Kits. And I just want to roll back a little bit of history on this. So Cleaver Kids they pay their $30 fee, and what they previously received was a progress folder, a year-end banner certificate, and a silver seal plus a membership card. And then we did do some surveys for that in 2019 going into 2020, and found that a lot of the clubs weren't using those progress folders. So we switched gears to providing activities online through the monthly newsletter, which are still all available if you want to check those out. And then also in late, it was about the spring, summer of 2021, Viterra, who was a gracious sponsor, come on board, and they wanted to do something special for the Cleaver Kids. So I designed a connection kit, which went to each individual Cleaver kid last year. They got a package in the mail about end of June, early July, and they were able to enter into the challenge contest. And that challenge contest got them some gnarly prizes that were sent in the mail to them after they submitted their passport. So later in the fall, Viterra wanted to partner with this again because they liked the response that they received from the Cleaver Kids. So I got busy and designed brand new activities, because we don't want our Cleaver Kids to have the same thing year after year. So with Cleaver Kids, we tried to keep it progressive, even with the progress folders, that they would be different folders each year. So I took myself off of screen sharing because I want to show you this. Club leaders should be receiving a package, one for every Cleaver Kid that we have noted in our system. You could even check your mailbox tomorrow, because some of them had went out earlier last week. Unfortunately, there was some circumstances that delayed this, and it didn't get out as far in advance as I anticipated. However, I think you'll be happy with them, and there's lots of club year left. So Cleaver kids can do these activities with their families and then also submit for some great prizes. So I'm going to quickly show you. I don't know if you can see this. So it's going to come in a super folder like this. And it looks like it's backwards to you guys, maybe backwards to me. So the folder looks like this. It can be reused. They can hold all of their papers in it. And it is just white on the inside. So on the inside, there's a letter to parents to outline what is there. And then there is the Cleaver Kid. I'm just going to set it down because that can't be like the school teacher librarian. There is the Cleaver Kids passport. And in this passport, they're going to record all the activities that they did. And just in the middle. So they can put a photo, they can draw in it, they can write whatever they can after they have done each of the activities in the leadership development pillar. And then on the back is their entry form. So once they complete their passport, they can send it in for prizes or a chance to win the grand prize, which I'm not telling you what it is. But there will be a prize, and the deadline for that is October 1st. So they have until the end of this club year to complete that. There's also an activity booklet, and in there is 1 to 2 activities per leadership development pillar. So there's an activity for that big part of an activity. There's a pumpkin contest growing, some science experiments, some healthy living recipes right out of our 4-H cookbook, and then a birdhouse pattern. So you can, each leadership development pillar has those activities. So communication and community engagement, environment and healthy living, sustainable agriculture and food security, and science and technology. So that is one booklet, and that's what they put in their passport. So they complete those activities and put in their passport. One of them is to complete this postcard. It's just blank on the back. They can send it as a thank you to anybody in their community. And then supplied by Ag for Life is activity agriculture booklet called Sprout. It's the spring edition. So it's brand new from Ag for Life. So there's mazes and activities in there. These here are value added to the Cleaver program because they're not focused directly on traditional 4-H projects. They are focused on the leadership development pillars, the ones that I named, as well as these are activities because we did have a sponsor come on board and that we can provide to the 4-H members. And before this, they weren't focused on traditional 4-H projects. They were more focused on skill development areas. So that is the Cleaver kit. It will come to the leader. Sorry, let me try to put it back together. And then the leaders can disperse it. So it isn't anything that they have to, by the end of the club year. They can do it with their family. The family photos can be in there. It can be anything that they wish, but encourage them to complete it and send their passport in at the end. So that's just an empty green slide. The next, this was in the last town hall, but embrace this discount. It's up to 30% from Staples. Most printing is 20% on it. It is for print and marketing, not pencil, crayons, and school supplies in store, but all the printing needs. I know 4-H clubs have used it for their show and sale booklets or Achievement Day promotions, and appreciate that discount. So check that out. Now we're at question and answers. So as you type your question and answer, you got to do both, question and answer, guys. But type your questions. I'm just going to run through our awesome sponsors that we have. So the Diamond Clover sponsor is the government of Alberta. The Emerald Clover level sponsors are Alberta Recycling, Altalink, ATB, Calgary Stampede Foundation, CPA Education Foundation, and UFA. Golden Clover is AFSC, PV Mart, and Save On Foods. Silver Clover, AgCall, Brant, Fortis Alberta, Kubota, Lamley's, Western Wear, and Wolf Carbon Solutions. Bronze Clover sponsor, Alberta Beef Producers, BASF, Bayer, Federation of Alberta Gas Co-op, Gas Alberta, Glacier Farm Media, and all of their publications, Lakeland College, MCS Net, Nutrien, Olds College, RBC Foundation, Rocky View County, and Viterra. Green Clover sponsors, FCC, Farm Credit Canada, Genome Alberta, Olds College, and Plains Midstream Canada. White Clover, Alberta Lamb Producers, Federated Co-op, Livestock Identification Services, and Radical. And a friend of 4-H is the Canadian Sheep Breeders Association and Second Chance Livestock. And to round out our list of awesome donors and sponsors to help our programs roll is our 4-H Canada national sponsors, Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada, BASF, Bayer, FCC, RBC Foundation, Syngenta, and Trans Canada. So thank you to all of them. We can't do it without you.
Suzanne, we have no questions.
No questions. Well, there's our contact information. So reach out to us. This recording will be put up on YouTube in the next week or so. So you can refer back to it and listen to that great slate of programs that are coming up. And remember to check out the Scoop because it always has a ton of information. So with that, I guess we can stop the recording and sign out for the night. Happy Tuesday. Thank you for coming. Bye, you guys.